Falcons fans, stop what you're doing because Atlanta just got the kind of news that can change the entire season. Not one, but two of our stars just lit up the NFL and put the Dirty Birds back in the national spotlight. This is the type of recognition we've been waiting for, and it proves that Atlanta isn't just competing, we're arriving. For years, the Falcons have been overlooked, doubted, and dismissed. But today feels different. Because in the span of 1 week, two names, two game-changing forces, reminded the league that this team is building something dangerous. On offense, Bijan Robinson has been crowned NFC Offensive Player of the Month. Let that sink in. A second-year running back who was once called too flashy and too risky is now bulldozing defenses and carving his name among the very best in football. Every run looks like a highlight reel. Every cut reminds us why Atlanta believed in him. Bijan isn't just producing, he's carrying this offense with a mix of power, speed, and creativity that only a handful of players in the league can match. And on defense? A name that's quickly becoming impossible to ignore, Xavier Watts. Drafted in the 3rd round when many thought he should have gone much earlier, he's already showing the entire NFL that Atlanta got an absolute steal. The kid from Notre Dame is now the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month, and it's not hard to see why. 2 interceptions in 4 games. 4 passes defended. Over 20 tackles. He's everywhere, flying around the field, reading quarterbacks like a veteran, and bringing his swagger to this Falcons secondary we haven't seen in years. What makes it even sweeter is that people are finally noticing. Scouts, analysts, insiders, they're all waking up to what fans have been saying since draft night: Xavier Watts is a dog. He's proving that this defense isn't just trying to survive anymore, it's hunting. Through 4 weeks, the Falcons have found balance, an offense powered by Bijan's electricity and a defense anchored by a rookie who looks like he's been doing this for a decade. For a franchise starving for respect, this double dose of recognition is more than just awards, it's a statement. Atlanta isn't sneaking up on anyone anymore. We're here. And we're coming for everything. Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. Do you believe this duo can carry Atlanta to the playoffs? Drop your thoughts in the comments and rate your confidence in this team from 1 to 10. Let's hear it. If you've watched the Falcons over the last 5 years, you know the secondary used to be a disaster. Missed tackles, blown coverages, no identity, no confidence. Every Sunday it felt like opposing quarterbacks were carving Atlanta up like it was practice. But in 2025, something has shifted, and it all starts with Raheem Morris. Say what you want about his game management, his decisions with the clock, or even his personality at the mic, there's one area where he deserves every ounce of credit: building a secondary that finally looks elite. Morris's background as a defensive back himself, and years of coaching DBs, is showing in every single snap. You can see it in the way these young players carry themselves, flying to the ball, trusting their reads, playing with confidence instead of fear. He doesn't just identify talent, he develops it. And the Falcons have quietly gone from one of the worst pass defenses in the league to one of the absolute best. Through 4 weeks, Atlanta is giving up just 135 passing yards per game. That's second best in the NFL. Second best. Let that sink in. The same team that fans used to dread watching on 3rd and long now has corners and safeties that quarterbacks actually avoid throwing at. Think about that turnaround. It's not just progress, it's a complete transformation. And this isn't even the finished product. A.J. Terrell, the leader of this group, has been banged up. Imagine what happens when he's fully back. Add him alongside the rise of Xavier Watts and the growth of young pieces like Billy Bowman, James Pierce Jr., and Jalen Walker, and suddenly, you're staring at a secondary that doesn't just look good on paper, it looks like it belongs in the conversation for the NFL's very best. That's not an exaggeration. That's reality. And it's a credit to the vision and the coaching of Raheem Morris. For once, Falcons fans can look at their defense and feel pride instead of panic. But while the defense is earning respect, the offense has its own heartbeat, and it runs through one man, Bijan Robinson. Right now, Bijan isn't just Atlanta's identity, he is the identity. And if he keeps playing the way he's playing, we won't just be talking about Offensive Player of the Year, we'll be talking MVP. Falcons fans, I want to hear it from you. Do you believe this secondary is finally elite, or do they still need to prove more? Drop your answer below and let's talk about it. When you talk about the most electrifying players in the NFL right now, the conversation has to start with Bijan Robinson. This guy isn't just good, he's different. He's one of those rare players that, the moment he touches the ball, you can feel the energy in the stadium shift. Every fan leans forward. Every defender braces for impact. Because Bijan can turn nothing into something, and something into a touchdown. Here's the thing though, the stats don't even tell the full story. Sure, he's already 5th in rushing yards, 1st in scrimmage yards, and leading the league in scrimmage yards per game. But the box score doesn't capture how many times he's broken tackles that should have ended plays. It doesn't show how many times he's carried the offense on his back when the play calling gave him little to work with. And that's where the frustration comes in. Falcons fans know it. Bijan hasn't even reached his ceiling, not because of his talent, but because of how he's being used. Atlanta's red zone offense has been flat out terrible, cashing in touchdowns on less than half their trips inside the 20 this year. That's 46%. That's bottom of the league stuff. And you can't blame Bijan for that. When he gets touches near the goal line, magic happens. The problem is, too often, he doesn't even get the chance. Now, look around the league. Teams like Detroit pound the ball under center with power backs, using multiple tight ends, creating lanes. It's old school football, and it works. Meanwhile, Atlanta? They line up in shotgun or pistol on almost every play, just 6% of their snaps come under center. That's nearly dead last in the NFL. Think about that. You've got one of the most dangerous runners in football, a guy who thrives in space and can punish defenses downhill, and instead of letting him run behind heavy formations, you're asking him to make miracles out of college-style spread looks. And somehow, he's still dominating. That tells you all you need to know about his talent. Bijan Robinson is carrying this offense, plain and simple. If the Falcons ever commit to building around his strengths, if they fix the red zone calls, if they mix in more under-center power looks, then we're not just talking about Offensive Player of the Year. We're talking about a real MVP candidate. Falcons fans, be honest, do you trust this coaching staff to unleash Bijan's full potential, or do you think he's being held back? Drop your take in the comments below. Here's the crazy part, Falcons fans, Bijan Robinson isn't just good, he's outperforming some of the biggest names in football. Let's stack him up for a second. You know how dominant Saquon Barkley can be when he's healthy, right? Well, Bijan's 2025 numbers are blowing his away. Then look at Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit, another young star who's been climbing the charts fast. As talented as Gibbs is, Bijan is playing on an entirely different level. The truth is simple, right now, Bijan Robinson looks like the best running back in the NFL. But it's not just about today, it's about where he's headed. Do you realize he's on pace for 1,300 rushing yards and nearly 1,150 receiving yards? That's close to 2,500 yards from scrimmage. Let that sink in. That's historic territory. Those are the kinds of numbers you only see when a player carries his team week after week. And here's what makes it even more special, every yard Bijan gains feels like a fight. Defenses game plan for him. He's the center of attention on every snap. And still, he produces. Still, he makes the highlight plays. Still, he puts Atlanta on his back. If he keeps this up, we're not just talking about Pro Bowl selections or even Offensive Player of the Year. We're talking about the most prestigious award in football. We're talking MVP. And for a running back to even be in that conversation in today's NFL? That tells you everything about how rare this guy truly is. Falcons fans, I've got to know, do you believe Bijan Robinson can actually win the MVP this year, or will the voters overlook him because he's a running back? Drop your answer in the comments.